Your time starts.
Leading in really tough times. Leading in really tough times. How do you know you're leading in a tough time? Because there's some smart ass leading you. They've always got their hand out to pull you up, and that's when you realise that you have failed as a leader. Now that's a really tough time, isn't it? Especially if you're supposed to be the leader that is leading the way. The problem is, I think, we should stop calling each other leader, because the word leader is often associated with the word boss. Who likes their boss? I don't. Oh, I am my own boss. And the problem with being a boss is that we are programmed to hate our bosses, and as such we hate ourselves when we become one. Then you've got those lovely leaders who think they know you, they like you, they want to get to right down to your level, and they give you all sorts of opportunities to be yourself at work, and then they criticise you when you take advantage of that. Most of us really don't like being led at work because it means that we're being told what to do, and oftentimes that means that we're not allowed to utilise our own skills. That can be a really tough time to lead through. Those of us who go to work and we think just get the 8 hours over and done with, well, you clearly don't work in IT support, where they're often asked to work 24/7. And you've always got those days as well when you're trying to lead a really good project and the plan is going off and everyone's working and it's going really well, and then Bob steps in with his ideas and changes everything without any discussion, and things start to go awry. So why do we think it changes with each job that we go to? Has anyone noticed your enthusiasm is really, really high when you apply for a new job, and then when you start your job a few months later you realise that the new people you're working for don't know how to use the skills they've hired in you either? We've actually got quite a lot of power, because followers can be leaders too, and if only we utilise that power, and every single person looking at me right now is a leader, and we can help each other to get through tough times. You just got to get the tools. One of the main reasons of poor productivity in any workplace is that we end up with people who are put in positions of leadership that do not have the tools to utilise the skills within their people to actually bring the productivity about that the organisation needs from them. So we start to compete with each other rather than to lead each other. And this is one of the problems that we've got. We're all educated and we all forget that. This hierarchy that we have in the workplace really doesn't work for us at all. It's very good for people who are looking for the manager to blame, but for most of us who are being led, especially in tough times, all we're doing is thinking about an ideal working environment that would help us to use our skills properly. I mean, who wouldn't want to work in an environment like that? So what we want to be able to do is smile. Think about it, no one situation is more tough than another, whether it's financial or whether it's just a really boring job that you're on, or whether you just keep on failing, there are still some things that you can do. You've just got to know when to hand over the lead. Most leaders today think that it's all about them, they are the ones that have to make things happen. But if they actually open their eyes and realise that within their team they have a multitude of leaders, most of us actually look for democracy in our workplace. Most of us are looking, if we don't like our real appointed leader, we're looking for somebody else in the team to lead us on. Even if you think they're a bunch of numpties, leaders can actually bring about really good change in us. They can make us realise some of the most amazing achievements. They give us some really good thought, they help us to make ourselves very powerful, they help us to make ourselves push on through. So even though we only break mental barriers and might not actually achieve the main goal, we've broken a mental barrier, which means that the next time we have an attempt at doing something, we're more likely to achieve. It's about the teams that we work with and the ability to work with our teams, not against them, to actually utilise group skills rather than individual skills. We often look at the past, our past achievements, and those are the things, whether we have passed or failed against our goals in the past, they are the things that really do push us through. And I think that it's well worth realising that sometimes when you failed in something, that in itself is a success, as long as you have failed as a group. You have all tried to win, and I think that's something that we should recognise. Our followers can be our leaders too. I mean, I don't know about you, but when you realise that your followers are really enjoying what you're doing and they're feeling empowered, it doesn't matter what the tough times are, if they're following what you are doing, they are leading you to do more. So leadership in tough times relies on the symbols, it relies on the celebrations, it relies on us all being able to say, I remember why I wanted to do this. There was some good in this for me, and there was some good in this for everybody else. Most of the leaders that make huge change in very tough times around the world, we don't even get to see. We don't even get to know their names properly unless we research them. And I suggest that you do. These are some of my favourite leaders, and they are the ones that inspire me on my toughest days, in my toughest projects, and when I've got a bob that I really want to kill. So I want you to think about when you are leading or when you think you are being led, who is really the leader in your team? And is it true to say there is only one person capable of leading you? And is it true to say there is only one person capable of leading your team?